It is late. You are in bed, not sleeping, doing that thing where you open LinkedIn on your phone, scroll for about 11 seconds, see someone from your old team just got a new title at some company you have never heard of, and close the app. Then you open your bank app, look at the mortgage balance, close that too. 30 people in your department 2 years ago, 15 left, you are still there. Not because you could not leave. You could leave, you have thought about it, you have drafted the resignation email in your head at least 4 times. But every time you get close, the current pulls you back. The mortgage, the insurance, the math. The math does not say go, not yet. And you are starting to wonder if staying makes you a coward. If everyone who left was braver than you. If you are just treading water while they are swimming somewhere better. You put the phone down, screen still glowing on the nightstand. Here is a number. Gallup surveyed over 22,000 American workers late last year. 72% said it is a bad time to find a quality job. That is almost 3 out of 4 people. In mid-2022, the number was flipped. 70% said it was a good time. A 42-point swing in less than 4 years. You did not need a survey to tell you that, but here it is. Anyway, public numbers, not personal advice for your situation. Just what 22,000 people said when someone finally asked them. The Bureau of Labor Statistics tracks how long it takes people to find work after they lose it. The median right now is about 11 weeks, almost 3 months. But the median hides something. The mean is 25.7 weeks, 6 months. The reason those two numbers are so far apart is that a lot of people find something in a few weeks, and a lot of people find nothing for a very long time. 41% of the currently unemployed have been out of work for 15 weeks or more. You closed the browser tab, you were not even sure why you opened it. You know, what is strange, not funny, but strange. You have probably opened LinkedIn, looked at someone else's job announcement, closed the app, opened Zillow, looked at your own mortgage balance, and closed that app too. All in about 45 seconds. That is a complete emotional cycle. Envy, doubt, fear, resignation in under a minute. And then you go to Target the next morning and buy toothpaste like a normal person. The quits rate, that is just the percentage of workers voluntarily leaving their jobs each month, has been at or below 2% for 8 straight months. February, it was 1.9, lowest voluntary quit rate since the labor market was still trying to find its legs after the pandemic. People are not leaving, not because they are happy, because they did the math. Gallup found that 43% of workers remain in their current role, primarily because leaving would be too difficult or costly, not because they love the job. 12% do not think they can match their current pay. 9% say jobs in their field are scarce. 8% are afraid of losing remote work. 4% worry they would be first laid off at a new company. That is not complacency. That is arithmetic. Something in the room is quiet for a second. Let me tell you about a person, suburbs of Columbus, 38, project coordinator at a mid-sized logistics company, household income, $91,000. They have a mortgage, $214,000 left on it, which is actually below the national average. Experian puts that at $258,000. Their rate is 4.1%, locked in 2021. Today's 30-year fixed is 6.33. They are not moving because moving means refinancing. And refinancing at 6.33 means their monthly payment goes up roughly $400. For the same house, same kitchen, same crack in the driveway, they stay. Their employer covers health insurance, family plan. KFF's annual survey puts the average employer-sponsored family premium at $26,993 a year. The employee portion is about $6,850 if they quit without another job lined up. COBRA coverage runs somewhere between $400 and $700 a month. For one person, not the family. They stay, not because the water is warm, because the current underneath is going the wrong direction and they know it. They can feel it in their feet. 15 people walked out of that building over 2 years. This person watched every single one of them go. Some went to better things, some did not. One came back 8 months later, lateral move, same title, 9% less pay. That is not unusual. ZipRecruiter's most recent new hires survey found that More than a quarter of people who recently landed a new job took a pay cut to get it. They close the laptop. Here is what I think you do not see about yourself. If you are still at that job, still paying that mortgage, still carrying that insurance, still showing up, there are signs, quiet ones, that you are handling this market better than you think. Sign one, your mortgage balance, not roughly, the number. You looked at it tonight. Bankrate's latest report says only 47% of Americans have enough to cover a $1,000 emergency from their savings. That means more than half cannot. 24% have nothing, zero. If you are still making your payments on time every month, that is not nothing. That is the opposite of nothing. Sign two, you have not panic quit. The hires rate, how many people actually get hired each month as a share of the workforce, dropped to 3.1% in February. That is the lowest since January 2011. It matches the COVID era low. More than half of people who applied for at least one job in the past 30 days did not get a single interview. You did not throw yourself into that. That is not fear. That is pattern recognition. Sign three, you are still insured. I want you to hear that for a second. Employer health plan costs went up 8.5% this year. You did not have to navigate COBRA. You did not have to call healthcare.gov mid-year with a qualifying life event and a headache. You just kept going to work. You lean back, ceiling fan going, still not sleeping. Sign four, you have a timeline. Maybe it is 2027. Maybe it is the month the mortgage balance drops below a number. You have been carrying in your head since the day you signed the papers. You did not walk out with no plan. You are waiting. And that is not the same as being stuck. Stuck is when you do not know why you are still here. You know exactly why. What is that number? By the way, the one in your head, the balance where you let yourself start looking for real. Sign five, you set a boundary. Maybe you stopped saying yes to the extra projects. Maybe you stopped answering Slack after 7. Gallup found that 30% of American workers feel stuck in their current job. But stuck does not negotiate. Stuck does not draw a line. If you drew a line, even a small one, even one nobody noticed, you are not stuck. You are managing your energy until the window opens. Sign six, you are watching the market, not ignoring it, not pretending it does not exist. You check the listings, you read the numbers. There are 6.9 million job openings right now, and about 7.6 million unemployed people. More people looking than positions available. You see that ratio, you file it away. You update the timeline in your head by a month, maybe 2. Sign 7, you are still here, listening to this at whatever hour it is, which means you are still thinking about your money, your job, your next move. The current is still pulling, and you are still standing in it, feet on the ground. That person in Columbus, they are not going to quit this year. They are going to watch 3 more people leave. They are going to update their resume on a Sunday afternoon and not send it anywhere. They are going to open the bank app, see the mortgage balance drop by another $2,000 and close the app. And one day, could be next year, could be 18 months, that balance crosses the number. And they move not out of panic, not out of desperation, out of readiness. I do not know your number. I do not know your timeline. This is not advice for your specific situation. Your rate, your savings, your field, all of it is yours and only yours. But the data says something about where you are relative to everyone else, and where you are is not behind. 53% of workers are choosing to stay this year, not because they gave up, because the math is not ready yet. There is a whole other side to this. What the math actually looks like when you do move, what the real cost of a job transition is in 2026. When you add the insurance gap and the rate reset and the signing bonus, that is not a signing bonus, but that is a different conversation for a different night. You are not a coward. You are not stuck. You are someone who looked at the numbers, looked at the current, and decided to keep your feet on the ground until the direction changes. If this is the kind of thing that is worth hearing at whatever hour you are hearing it, there is more of it here, quiet numbers, no yelling, just the math and what it might mean. For someone like you, the water is still moving. You are still standing. That is a sign too.